What is up, guys? So we've got the turbos mounted up now. Everything's bolted in. And got everything but the coolant lines on the turbos, but I think I'll wait on that a little bit anyways. Like in the last video, this is only the next day after that last video had been filmed, but missing those tensioner pieces, so I've got the front timing cover off and just kind of waiting on those for the timing. However, I think it's time to put these really sick XDI plus 50 injectors in. These are the 2000cc versions that XDI sells and they're about 50% overstock. These actually all measured up to about 2100cc, which is huge. So I think that's the next plan. I got the fuel rails out. I want to, squirt some brake clean in those, just make sure there's nothing in there that might clog up the injectors, and then can put those bad boys down there, bolt them in, and then, quite frankly, I don't know what else to do in the meantime. Might put coolant lines on the turbos, maybe. The coolant lines kind of run back through here. I'm just kind of iffy about it, just because I don't know if I really want to do that just yet. But anyways, got the timing all locked in. Got these cam holders, which were given to me by a buddy back when the motor was removed. You can probably see those in the background, and I didn't end up using them on the removal of the engine, but got a bit going. Well, we got matching hardware now. I bought the exhaust manifold bolts at two different spots, and 4 were 12 mil, 4 were 13 mil, and the other 8 were ½ inch. So I figured I would go back to O'Reilly's and pick up more of these zinc coated ones, because those look pretty spicy, not gonna lie. I'm gonna dig in my trash here for a moment, pull out something. This is the rear main that I just put in. If you don't see, there's a little, it's kind of kinked, about like that. I found out that I used the wrong RTV, which was that Satan tube over there, and I kind of kinked the rear main like that. You can kind of see it there. So I'm not going to take any chances. I've got a new one on the way with that timing stuff. Put that back in the trash, and took off the rear main cover once again, cleaned her all up, gave her a good spit shine, and I'm going to wait to reinstall that when the motor's up in the air ready to be installed. I'll need to reinstall the that stuff right there at the same time. So kind of a funny coincidence. Somebody mentioned in the comments on one of the forums that this RTV, this gray stuff, can foam, and looking into it, I agree. And I'm just going to use some of this black Permatex stuff. This is like an Easy Feed can, and I will say this is probably the coolest thing since sliced bread, because I will say I was trying to squeeze the ever-living crap out of this tube and could not get hardly anything out. So just putting out that rear main seal's worth of RTV took me like a solid 6 or 7 minutes. But, it is what it is. I'm glad that I found out that rear main was pinched. You can't really see it now that it's been out. It's had a chance to kind of relax and whatnot. And I could have probably reused the seal. However, I'm not taking any chances with that, so I just beat it out. I mean, it's unusable now because these things do not fit in very well because of this metal ring. It's very tight. It's supposed to seal anyways, so you got to kind of beat them in. But it's one of those things that I'm just happy that I figured it out, that seal was boogered. And shout out to the guy who gave me that little tip on that RTV. Ford does have a different type of RTV. That's like a high performance one. I just ended up with the wrong one. But it is what it is. So we got some new hardware on the manifolds. We've got the, I think that's oil pressure sensor, and then the cam angle sensors. And shout out to my buddy Eco Export. He's on the forums as well. He's got this really cool Explorer Sport that he's here. I'll turn this around so you guys can see my ugly face for a second. He's got this really cool Explorer Sport that he's building. He's going with a built motor. He's got like ATP turbos and all sorts of other goodies. I'll link his Instagram below. He's got a really cool build going, and he's not on Facebook or any of that other stuff, so he doesn't really have much of a following. Quite frankly, he's got more on Instagram than I do, but he's got a really sick Explorer Sport, and he's gonna be making some pretty big steps forward for that platform. So I'll put his Instagram in the link below. If you guys want to give him a look and see if it's something you're interested in, then feel free. So cam angle sensors, and then I think there's a cylinder head temp sensor. Just want to make sure all that stuff is in, and we do have both turbos completely installed. Oh man, I'm getting so excited. And we do have some good old trusty O'Reilly's conventional oil. I'm going to use that on the break-in. I'm only going to be driving about 100 or 200 miles on break-in. Just trying to make sure there's no leaks. And because we've got a new trans cooler, new motor, and a lot of fluids that, quite frankly, I don't trust myself to make sure is sealed. So just got some cheapy oil, some conventional oil for break-in, and then I've got a zinc additive from ZDDP. And you know what? I think it's time to put these in. At least I could put them in and leave the caps on them, but these are the XDI plus 50 injectors, and I think it's time for them to find their home. Just put it in the hole. Just put it in the hole. Actually, I should probably make sure I've got the plug orientation. Actually, it looks like that side stops right there, so that should be correct. So let's just kind of ease them in. I gotta two-hand this. I'm just too nervous to push these in. Can't be forgetting these retainer clips, or we'd have a bad time. And I do try to be pretty honest with you guys about these things. XDI did hook me up on these, so I will say that I really appreciate their help on this. I won't say I got anything for free, because that is not really the reality of it. But these are a really nice piece. I believe Lee at Ortiz Performance has a few set of these for sale if you guys are interested. And also Ortiz did help me out with like the Manly stuff, and then Gearhead kind of helped me out with the turbos. I didn't get anything for free, so don't really think about it. Ooh, I want to make sure that stays in place. But you know, I really appreciate their support, and I love being able to put everybody's minds and products together and getting one great build going. Boom! So injectors are installed, and these should be good for every bit of over 700 all-wheel horsepower. Like I said, waiting on the fuel rails just a little bit because those aren't capped off, and I want to make sure they're nice and cleaned out before I slap them on these expensive puppies. So these are going to be a nice addition to the build, and one step forward. And I do love that they sent that as hashtag 10-second show, because hopefully, while I'm putting this in the trash, hopefully we got something going here. So I turned around the car again, because I figured because I've got those two lights on that side, it'd probably be a little bit easier to put in the motor tomorrow when I get those two timing components in. So got the car turned around, plenty of space, a little bit more light. That's kind of not ideal, but it's better than what I had. I might turn the car this way a little bit more, just get a little bit more space, but shouldn't be an issue. That's a tight fit. Jeez. Peep that SEL badge though. So it's funny, this cherry picker I always borrow from my neighbor who's around the block, and I I always push it the entire way to the house. So it's always a noisy adventure, and I'm sure that all the neighbors are thinking that, yeah, what the fuck is this guy doing? Now this should be a definitive moment of her finally being timed. So we've just got this last pin to pull, and she timed. So now I should be able to take off those cam lock things, and should be able to turn it over without feeling anything binding up. So let's hope for that. Let's just act like this didn't happen. So that was actually an oil pump bolt that got replaced. Thankfully, that scared the crap out of me when I first found it. But we got the coolant lines back on. I'm hoping that that isn't going to be in the way, because I hated taking these off to begin with. Just got to put the rear main on, and then the crank timing sprocket, and then the flywheel, and then I got to put that sensor in. I think the turbo's in the way, but I think I got it before without taking off the turbo. Rear main is on, and the gasket isn't pinched. I basically put the gasket in backwards, so then I had to be extremely careful and beat it back out with the plastic like trim remover just to not booger anything up. But you know, that's what I get for not paying attention. It's happening! Well, thanks to my neighbor down the road for letting me borrow his picker and his engine stand, because the motor is in. I still got to bolt in, I think, 2 trans bolts, and then I got to get behind, because there's a brace that goes from the PTU to the back of the motor, that thing right there. And then I got to get the axle brace also on there. But a lot to go, but a ton of progress this morning. Actually, it's 2 p.m. I've been going at this for like 5 hours. But she's in. Been a second since I updated, but we've got the intake manifold on, the coolant pipes attached to the intake manifold, we've got the rear turbo pipes attached, we've got the throttle body on, high pressure fuel pump, and everything like that. Everything seems to be connected that I can tell. I have to put the radiator and transcooler on. I would start it like this, however, trans fluid would go everywhere. So I'm going to throw on that real quick and put everything on, clip everything in, and then I should be ready for a first start after I hook up the intercooler and throttle body. I guess everything that is in this package I need to hook up. So nice, beautiful mid-40s here in Missouri, and couldn't ask for some better weather. So flashing over the tune now, and got to put the fuel in it that I got, and just put coolant in, and got fresh oil, trans fluid. I think we're ready. So we're going to prime a couple times for the fuel, and then oil prime a couple times. So we're going to dry fire a little bit. I'm nervous. You can hear the fuel priming. Okay, I'm gonna dry fire, which means foot on the brake, gas to the floor, and then that'll prime the oil. So filled the oil filter and got the oil topped off. So see if she turns over. Ooh, she's trying. She's trying. Ooh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Gonna prime fuel again. Oh my gosh. Come on, car. Come on. Ooh, she's not happy, but she's trying. Come on, clear all that. I know the doors are open. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, I'm gonna put down the camera so I can get to looking for leaks or anything. Oh my gosh, what a journey it's been. 8 months and she finally runs. I definitely have more to do, and as far as I can tell so far, no leaks. She sounds good. And I'm pretty excited for what we got going forward from here on out. So if you guys like this extra long video, I wanted to knock this out and get it all done in one giant video, then be sure to hit me with a like or a comment or subscribe, whatever you guys want. But I'm super excited, but we got plenty to go from here. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.